The kilowatt hour. In everyday life, the joule is a very small unit of energy. Let's consider a 60-watt light bulb used for 3 hours one evening. Energy is equal to power times time, and so the energy will be the 60 watts power multiplied by 3 hours, multiplied by 60 to get the time into minutes, and multiplied by 60 again to get the time into seconds. So this small amount of energy use is equal to 648,000 joules. Clearly, a household using lights, televisions, kettles, cookers, vacuums cleaners, etc. will require a huge number of joules of electrical energy over the course of a month. A larger unit of energy is used for convenience, and this is the kilowatt hour. In a similar way, you might buy sweets in a sweet shop in grams rather than kilograms, but if you were buying sand, you might buy it in tons. The kilowatt hour is defined as the energy transferred by a 1 kilowatt device operating for 1 hour. Let's see how many joules that is. Well, 1 kilowatt hour then would be equal to 1000 watts, that's the kilowatt, multiplied by 1 hour, by 60 to get it into minutes, 60 again to get it into seconds, is 3.6 million joules, or 3.6 megajoules. 1 kilowatt hour is sometimes just called a unit. For both SI units and kilowatt hours, we use the equation that energy is equal to power times time. But we must be consistent with units. We must use either joules, watts and seconds in a problem, or kilowatt hours, kilowatts and hours. Let's look at an example. Calculate the number of units of electricity transferred by a 2 kilowatt heater operated for 2 hours. Well, in this case our power is in kilowatts and our time is in hours, and so we can say that energy is equal to the power of 2 kilowatts times 2 hours, just 4 kilowatt hours. Number 2, a 1200 watt hairdryer used for 15 minutes. Well, now we've been given the power in watts, not kilowatts, and the time in minutes, not hours. But 1200 watts is equal to 1.2 kilowatts, and 15 minutes is equal to a quarter of an hour, or 0.25 hours, giving an energy in kilowatt hours of 0.3 kilowatt hours, or 0.3 units. Number 3, an 850 watt microwave oven used for 6 minutes. Again, we must put 850 watts into kilowatts, that's 0.85 kilowatts. 6 minutes is a tenth of an hour, and so this has used 0.085 kilowatt hours. If electricity costs 8 pence per unit, calculate the cost of the above. Well, for anything, the cost is equal to the number you buy multiplied by the cost of 1 unit, and so the total cost here is equal to the number of units of electrical energy times the cost per unit. The number of units, well, there was 4 plus 0.3 plus 0.085 times the cost per unit of 8 pence, gives us a total cost of 35.08 pence.